All religious institutions, including churches, mosques and temples, will have to register afresh if a report on religious organizations submitted to President William Ruto is adopted by the government. The report has also recommended that all religious institutions should file annual tax returns, and for those that don't, for 3 consecutive years, they'll be cancelled. Our reporter David Modhoka looks at the report that was submitted to the head of state today at State House by the Reverend Mutava Musyimi-led task force.
It will not be worship as usual in all churches, mosques and temples in the country once a report submitted to President William Ruto on Tuesday by the Reverend Mutava Musyimi-led task force is implemented. In what will be a radical surgery to the religious sector, the report has recommended that all religious organizations in the country should be registered afresh, with the registration process timed to take place for only 1 year. According to the report, religious institutions which do not register within a year will be deemed unlawful. The report has proposed that a Religious Affairs Commission be established to conduct the registration exercise. During the registration, religious institutions will be required to submit an appropriate name, the constitution of the religious institution, whose template the Religious Affairs Commission will come up with. Other requirements will include police clearance certificates and tax compliance or exemption certificates of the institution's office bearers, as well as a recommendation letter from the institution's umbrella organization. The process will not be a walk in the park for religious institutions that will submit offensive, vague, deceptive, or confusing names. Religious institutions that have a connection with a political organization or which the Religious Affairs Commission will be apprehensive that they will disrupt national security, and religious institutions that will submit false information. According to the Reverend Mutava Musyimi report, such institutions will be notified of their unsuccessful registration within 28 days. The rest of the institutions that will be successfully registered will be required to thereafter file annual returns with the Kenya Revenue Authority with details as to their membership, contacts, physical residence, audited financial statements, all activities of the religious institution, both charitable and non-charitable, any commercial venture of the religious institution, and sources of funds. According to the report, every religious institution shall at least once in every year hold an annual general meeting where the officials shall render a full and true account of the monies received and paid by the religious institution, and members shall be accorded opportunity to elect or appoint officials, trustees or auditors or other office bearers. The Religious Affairs Commission shall erase the name of a religious institution from the Book of Registered Religious Institutions and write it on the Book of Unlawful Religious Institutions if it discovers its registration was obtained through misrepresentation or non-disclosure of material facts, or if the institution fails to file tax returns for 3 consecutive years. The report submitted to President William Ruto comes more than a year after the head of state picked the Mutava Musyimi-led task force to look into gaps into laws governing religious institutions so as to avert another shakahola.
This report is very important to us as a nation. It is very important to me as a leader who values religion. And therefore, we will be taking the next steps in making sure that the good work you have done so far translates into what will do 2 very important things for us.
The report, which is in the form of the Religious Organizations Bill of 2024, will now be forwarded to Parliament for debate, and after which members of Parliament will vote on its fate. David Muthoka, KTN News, Nairobi.
Still ahead in this bulletin.